TNA, and we're not going to, it's not for sure that it's going to happen. But I think that we have spent enough time in an exclusive negotiating agreement with them at this point. Mm-hmm. I think what we need now is to go out and talk to several groups. I think they are one of the groups we should continue to talk to, because I think their idea is brilliant, and I think that they are one of the few people who can implement it. But I think at the same time, we should be talking to other people and have it be a competitive process and see who comes up with the ideas we really want, who has the qualifications. I'm not sure I would go out for an RFP. I think maybe a qualification and negotiate with several people at the same time. I mean, we have an opportunity. It's a lot of land. It could really be unique. And so you just don't want to hand it to a developer who will do whatever they want. Sure. You really want to focus it, but you want it done. And I think it's now almost 2 years that we've been working with the Wayne brothers, and it's not happening. I don't want to not work with them, but I want to see what else is out there.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's interesting. Some of the discussion at the time was looking at goods movement, and the port location and their desire to expand is in some ways old economy jobs. And the question always seems to be, how does Oakland embrace job creation and new economy jobs and create this as more of a job center and as an opportunity to usher in kind of a new era of life and vitality to Oakland, both from a looking for a place for people who can find meaningful employment, but also making sure the numbers of jobs are significant. And I know that's part of the ongoing conversation. With an advent and really more...
And what kind of jobs they are.
What kind of jobs
I mean, if you're going to do big box retail and you're paying minimum wage, those are one kind of jobs.
There you go.
The port is an economic engine for the region. I mean, one of the conversations that hasn't happened with the port is the port shouldn't just be Oakland's problem. The port is really a regional issue. And if we are, I know there's a lot of people who want to say, take the Army base and put all the warehousing there and put all the trucks there. Oakland doesn't get much from that. The region may get a lot, but Oakland doesn't, because we don't have the retail, we don't get the taxes from the retail. So as long as our economy for Oakland is based on getting sales tax, we either have to get creative and change how the state system is, or the region has to figure out how to deal with the port, or we have to go after something that's going to be good for the city of Oakland and bring money in.
Yeah. So, now looking at the economy with the recent burst of the bubble, primarily in the subprime market and the changing housing market, I understand the council in the new session is going to be looking at a report from the Blue Ribbon Panel and taking up the issues in and around affordable housing and inclusionary housing. Can you give us some direction as to where you think the city is going to be going there? And is that a process that you think will result in new new laws or ordinances for the city of Oakland?
Well, we did office linkage, where you put in a certain amount of dollars. I think it's $4
a square foot
for each office when the office building was not happening. There was no building going on, and everyone told us, don't do it. You're never going to see office building. Well, that was true. We weren't going to see office building, not because of what we did, but because of the economy.
The market.
So the market stopped it. We haven't seen any office building, but now we have office building, and now we have our policy in place. So when the market starts, and it is starting, we're getting it. I think that's true of affordable housing. We're not going to cause or not cause the housing development in the city. It is a national issue. Housing is in, the building of housing and the selling of housing is really changing. I still support that. I think we create a policy that when it comes back around is in place. So when it comes to affordable housing, I think there's the 3 prongs. So you take the top, which is condo conversion. I support a really smart condo conversion. I think that's good for young professionals. My children could, at this point, can't afford to live in Oakland. So let's do some condo conversion so that young professionals can buy their first house. Then there's inclusionary zoning, which I think is affordable housing for the mid-range, for 100%, develop to a building market rate, include units that are affordable so that we stay the kind of city we like, which is diverse ethnically and financially. And then I would like to see the city take its redevelopment money and really use it for the lowest. Really use it for 50% and lower income, AMI income, and to give people the sense 100% AMI, which is what we're talking about inclusionary zoning, is about $82,000 for a family of four. $120,000 is $105,000. Right. So we're really talking about low incomes. But, where are right now?
$25,000 to $50,000 a year, family of four income.
Right. Where is the person who does my nails going to live? Where's the janitor who cleans our offices going to live? Right now they're living in Manteca and Stockton. They're driving 2.5 hours a day. It's not helping the air. It's not helping their families. We need them to live where they work.
Right, right. Well, coming into this new session, aside from that issue, what do you see as a focus for you and what you're working on for your district as well as for the city? So you have 2 or 3 things that are your focus as you come into the fall?
Well, my district's great. I mean, I have a really active district. I have 43 different organizations. They're very active. The top issue right now is crime. We have to solve the crime issue. I have personally experienced it. My neighbors have experienced it. The police department has to get a strategy. They have to implement it. They have to stay with it for 5 years. They have to do their work based on data. They have to do what they say they're going to do. They can't change their mind from when they say it to the next time. So crime is top in my district. I think it's top in the city.
I'm convinced that you can keep them on the task.
I've tried. They promised a public meeting of 100 people that they were going to have a crime reduction force out in my district. Everyone thought they were doing it. We then saw a couple of months ago the robberies were still going up, and it turned out they didn't do it.
Wow.
So I'm now asked for detail, and now they're doing it. Now the police are in North Oakland and they're doing it, but I shouldn't have to stay on top of them like that.
Sure.
When people say it, they should do it. It's a crime. The other big issue that's going to turn Oakland around is schools. Mm-hmm. Businesses aren't going to come here if their employees can't live here and send their kids to schools. I think the city has to get in the mix. We have to do stuff around truancy. We have to help the schools in every possible way we can. We're not over the schools. We do have a state administrator, but it's critical that our schools are as successful as possible. And then, I always work on issues of quality of life, the trees in Oakland, the waterfront.
Are you going to plant some more trees this year?
Absolutely. We've planted 3,000 trees so far, and we're willing to double it.
That's wonderful. Well, I really appreciate you coming on. As the year unfolds and the issues unfold, we'd like to invite you back and hope you'll join us.
Good. Thank you for having me.
Take care.
Bye.
Great.